everybody, and welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, where today we are in a 2010 Ford XR6 FG, and this is the 50th anniversary. So this one is a little bit more special, and when it came out in 2010, this did mark 50 years of the Ford Falcon, and what a car these things are. Got the NA Barra up front, we got a 6-speed ZF here, rear wheel drive. This car is just, it's an icon, it really is. Now mechanically, there really isn't anything different that these XR 50th anniversaries got. It was basically a lipstick kit, and I gotta say though, these things do look really nice. You know, you have one of these, this one's in pretty damn good condition as well, and when you have a look at it, it is a pretty nice looking Falcon, there's no denying that. And even on the inside here, it actually feels like one of the nicer Falcons I've actually been in, even though it is just an XR6. And when you just think about the Ford Falcon, over its history, 56 years it was running for here in Australia. You know, locally made, just 7 generations we had. We had over 7 generations, 56 years of the Ford Falcon here in Australia, and what a machine it was. Like, how lucky were we to get these cars, and what a shame they're still not being made today, because I'll tell you what, if I was getting a brand new car and they were still making them like this is what I would be buying. And when you consider how far these modern Falcons actually came, because when they first introduced them in 1960 with the XK series, they had a 2.4 liter 6-cylinder making 67 kilowatts and 187 newton meters, which was class leading for the time. Even had a 3-speed manual or a 2-speed auto. And compare that with the FGX range now, man, it's just absolutely amazing. It really is. Now, just like any other FG XR6, this did still have the Barra 195 up front, 4-liter, inline 6, the godly engine, this thing, 195 kilowatts, 391 newton meters of torque, rear wheel drive, and this one is done with the ZF 6-speed. And this is actually my first time reviewing a naturally aspirated Barra with the ZF, so this is going to be interesting to see how it actually drives. Weighs about 1.7 ton, and we take it around some of these tighter bends here. And this is a factory car. It's handling it pretty damn well, considering the Ks on this car as well. I'm actually pretty impressed with the way this is handling these corners. It's actually not leaning all over the place like you would expect from a typical Falcon. You get around that nice hairpin, you get on it. Soaks up the bumps really well, and mate, this ZF is fantastic with this 195 Barra. It is. It's quick to shift, just like any of the motors it's in, but it really does make this naturally aspirated motor feel a little bit faster than it actually is. It's a great combination. Steering feels really nice. It's a little bit light like all FGs are, but you know exactly what those front wheels are doing. There's no play in the wheel, which is really good. The seating position is actually really nice in this particular one. I don't feel like I'm quite so high up like other FGs I have previously reviewed. For whatever reason that is, I don't know. There is a electronic control on the side here that can put us up and down, so maybe that's not standard on all of the FGs, but great view all around on this car. Fuel economy was claimed just like the other ones at about 10.1 liters per 100 Ks. This particular one is averaging around that 12 liters per 100 Ks, and that is kind of what I would expect for anyone to get in one of these, is around that 11 to 12 liter range. Now, price brand new, one of these would have set you back in 2010 about $38,000, and I gotta tell you, that seems like an absolute bargain, because when these XR6s first came out in 2008, just for a regular base model XR6, you were gonna pay pretty much that amount anyways, almost 40 grand. So the fact that this one, being the 50th anniversary, came with all these upgrades and it was still only 38 grand new, that was a bargain. Now, on the used market, if you're gonna buy one of these, kind of does depend on condition in Ks, but you're gonna be looking around that $10,000, $12,000 on the very low end, and then on the higher end for a really clean one, gonna be talking about 20 grand. So they're still chasing a fair amount of money, but if you could get one of these for around that $10,000 to $15,000 mark, this is a fantastic car for that money, no doubt about it. And just getting on this again here in sport mode now. They go all right. Hey, I gotta say, you know, these ZF boxes, they definitely give it a quick edge, because there's no doubt about it, the manual is more engaging, a little bit more fun to drive, but this ZF definitely brings the speed up, because yeah, the shifts are just super quick, doesn't mess around, drops down straight away. Yeah, it's definitely a quick car, even in naturally aspirated form here. Now, it's worth mentioning these 50th anniversary editions were still a Series 1 FG. And honestly though, when you sit in here, all the little interior trim upgrades, you know, the fact you do have the ZF here, it definitely makes it feel like it's not a Series 1, because, you know, you do have these this blacked out trim over all the controls here for the radio. You still got that infotainment system. It's not the touchscreen. That did come in the Series 2, which was right after this model. So basically, 2011, the Series 2 came into effect. You got a touchscreen infotainment system and a bit of a facelift on the exterior. So not a huge amount did change with the facelift, actually. Now, just having a bit of a walk around on this XR6 50th anniversary model, and you can see up the front here, it does get a few nice little subtle details. So we've got these kind of chromed out fog lights with some painted accents behind there. Also up the front in here, this is kind of painted as well. Very clean looking Falcon, I gotta say. These look really nice. You've got the honeycomb wheels here, and on the insides of them, they are actually done in a slightly darker finish as well, and that was specific to the 50th anniversary here. They're 18s by 245 all around. And then you also do have your chromed out here 50th anniversary badge, which does look pretty nice here. And when you move up to the wing mirror, this actually did get the indicator put into it, which again, it's just a nice feature to have. You've got your stripe down the side, you've got an XR50 badge down here, and then when you come to the back end, we had G6 tail lights put in on this, and then we also did have our XR50 badge again back here. Again, it's just a really nice looking Falcon. Everywhere you look at it, it's just simple, clean. I like the look of these FGs a lot. So inside, you've got your 50th anniversary plaque here, which is nice to see. You've also got XR50 seats here, and they're leather with kind of a suede cloth. Very comfortable. I like the way these look. In here also, we do have a blacked out kind of surround around the radio controls, which does look good. XR50 gauges. And even some of the trim here, like almost in my Typhoon actually, it's kind of in this faux carbon fiber, which was unique again to the 50th anniversary. You know, even from the door sides, they've got kind of leather. It's just a nice place to be up front. You know, the seats, everything in here is nice. I quite like the design. Again, just this is kind of busy. Not a big fan of that, but everything else, really good here. And in the back seats, we do again get these nice leather seats with some cloth in the middle. You've got a armrest, a couple of cup holders that does come down, even some air vents, and just a huge amount of room in here. I'm talking massive amount of room. Easily you can fit 3 people back here. This particular one does have a blacked out roof liner, not standard but I highly recommend anyone to do this mod because it does look so much better. Now, 0 to 100 is claimed at about 6.5 seconds for one of these NA Falcons. And finally having one with the ZF Auto, this is going to be really interesting to see what it actually achieves, because with a manual, it is really hard to kind of get under that 8-second mark. So yeah, this is the first time in the ZF. We got the draggy here. We're going to reset it. We're going to turn traction control off. So DSC is off. We'll put it in performance mode, and we'll let this thing just shift its own gears. Try and build it up as much as we can. There is no launch control, so here we go. $100. Mate, the ZF, I'd say, like, the ZF actually does really, to me, feel like it improves the speed of this car over any of the other NA XR6s I've been in. So definitely a great gearbox to have if you're going to get a NA XR6, like 100%. If you want it to be fast, get the ZF. If you want it to be a little bit more engaging and fun, then I would recommend the 6-speed manual. But let's have a look at what that time actually was. Now, 0 to 100 there was done in 6.9 seconds. And look, I think I could give it a bit more. I think there's a little bit left in the tank of this thing. I don't think I had quite a perfect launch. We'll give it one more try here and see if we can make it a little bit quicker. All right, so trying this one more time. Let's reset the draggy here. Let's reset. Put it in sport mode. Traction control is still off. Try and build it up a little bit more and see if it can go. So. And that definitely was not going to be quicker. Open diff, and I can see there is a one pegger back there. We tried a little too hard on that launch, guys. 0 to 100 there was in 8.6 seconds, but that was not a real launch at all.
Now in the end, after about another 5 attempts, we just could not get the Falcon to beat that first set 6.9 second run, unfortunately. But even still, this car is impressive. It's quick for a large 1.7 ton, naturally aspirated, rear-wheel drive family sedan. You gotta be impressed. And the 50th anniversary is a great special edition, with all the subtle upgrades really improving the overall feel of this car. 56 years of the Falcon here in Australia, what an achievement. It's just sad that we didn't get 50 more. Thanks for watching.